Thanks for tuning into the Adam Carolla Show. You can watch the full show on YouTube. Just search Adam Carolla Show and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can also get the podcast wherever you like to listen. And for extra content, ad-free episodes, and more, you can head over to our Substack and sign up today. Rob Morrow is in, actor, director. I don't know if he writes.
I write, I produce, I make music, I cook a little bit.
Rob has been around for quite a while. I guess Northern Exposure is probably where people first sort of saw you consistently.
That kind of put me on the map, yeah, for sure. That was 1990.
It was a big hit, and it was also back when we could have big hits on network television.
It's true. Like we were considered I think a modest hit at like 18, 20 million a week.
I know. The Oscars is not going to do anything near that in terms of viewership. Like Dukes of Hazzard was 37 million Americans watching.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's better or worse. When I was a kid, and we're roughly the same age, I knew every human being that was on television.
Right.
Now I get a lot of like, oh, that's the one from Top Chef European. She's a huge, and I'm like, I don't know who that is.
It's a huge kind of universe, right? There's so many. How many people come up to you and say, "Have you seen this show?" and you've never heard of it, and it's a huge hit,
right?
And you're like, and there's a movie star involved. Like,
oh
you're
yeah.
Like, wait, I didn't know you're doing it.
Well, I know the Grey House, which is on Prime right now. I was watching it last night. It's really good, and I just saw Costner's name on there as a producer, and I thought, oh, of course, anything historical has got to have his name on there.
He loves historical stuff, and he was really instrumental in getting it made. Him and Morgan Freeman.
Morgan was doing the VO.
Morgan did the first and the last episode VO, but he was involved as a producer.
Yeah, Costner's just a constant. He loves the West, but he loves history. But he loves stories.
Yeah. And this is a unique story. I mean, it's one that I've never heard. I don't know if you did, but about this female spy ring in the Civil War. And they were, it's based on facts. And it was pretty well, they also have John Sayles as one of the writers. And he's great with history. He's a real history buff.
Yeah, it's great because we're not going to have anyone sit down and read textbooks anymore. But if you can do accurate portrayals of this, then it can be very consumable and educational as well.
And just, what's amazing is that there's these, I was just talking to someone about there's all these documentaries on now about, say, I just saw the new Elvis documentary, and then I just watched last night the one on Paul McCartney, and there's these aspects of these times that we think we know everything about, and then you see a new perspective on it, and it's like, oh, I could, in regards to the Elvis one, I thought I knew everything about Elvis, but I knew nothing, like who the man really was. This one seems to capture it, at least in the positives, not with all the drug-addled,
Sadly, and it'll happen to us, or it already has, everyone becomes a cartoon version of themselves for everyone who's consuming it. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
And it's kind of sad that that's our default setting.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's also nonsensical. Like, even when you disagree with somebody, you start thinking about it, and it's like, why is Trump doing what he's doing at the border? Because he likes pain.
Right.
It's like, well, he's doing it for other reasons that you disagree with, but we do this thing where this person's they become caricatures.
It's reductive,
and it's really sad. Like Elvis, fat guy, died on the toilet. Mama Cass Elliot, what'd she do? She's eating a ham sandwich.
Right.
And she died because she's a big fatty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's not fair to her.
You're right. It's
She's
reductive.
a great artist, and I'm sure people loved her very much. And we just had to do this really sad thing where she died eating a ham sandwich. We do it with everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe we do it because we're narcissists. Like, it makes us feel better somehow.
We're all narcissists?
Well, here's what I'm starting to realize. Everybody,
I do say this is the narcissist age we live in, but I don't know if everyone's a narcissist.
Well, no, I'm not saying clinically diagnosable. But what I'm saying is like every kid starts off a narcissist. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like a sort of just, that basic thing where you go like, here's 10 M&Ms, share them with your sister. And it's like, I'll just keep the 10.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? Like you don't go, here's 5, I'll take 5.
Right.
We have to kind of train you
We
out
have to
of
learn
that.
to be socialized, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and we have to sort of learn to, well, you found a wallet on the ground. Your impulse is to take the $50 out of it and throw it in the dumpster. But what if that was your wallet?
Right.
Wouldn't you want the person to do the right thing, you know,
Right.
kind of thing? And so that takes a little training.
Right. No, like I distinctly remember making a decision when I was, 20 or something, that if I drop something, if you're walking on the street and you're eating something in the wrapper and something falls on the street and you just keep going. But I remember thinking, no, I'm never going to do that. I'm always going to pick it up. And so now wherever I am, like I pick up the thing that I did,
Yes.
because maybe that was the beginning. But I never got over being a narcissist, so it didn't really help me.
Well, listen, no one is grossed out by their own spit.
True.
But you're disgusted if someone spits on your face.
Yes.
That's their spit that they don't mind.
Right.
So we're all kind of wired to like our own spit,
Right.
and that's fine. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Look out for your kids. That kind of thing. That's
Sure.
fine. It's more the part when it starts getting like applied to society. That's the part that we're sort of entering now.
Right. And that's where you're saying that the narcissism extends further. That
I think it's a thing that was supposed to be tamped down and sort of kept in check.
Right.
And we've decided that everyone's just got to do their own thing now.
Right.
And there's no more judgment going on.
Right.
So now people wear pajamas to the airport.
Right.
Because everyone always wanted to wear pajamas to the airport because it was more comfortable, but they were dissuaded from doing it because society sort of said, hey, no.
It's like that Warhol thing was everyone's going to be famous for 15 minutes, and then I updated that to be everyone's going to be a director for 15 minutes, and then I updated that to everyone's going to have their own network for 15 minutes.
It is an interesting time we're living in where, back to Northern Exposure with the moderate hit at 18 million viewers a week.
By the way, it's now on Amazon Prime as well, and it's finding a whole new generation of
Cool,
of fans,
right?
which is so interesting. There's something weirdly not dated about it. Doesn't feel dated when you watch that show, and I can't quite put my finger on what that is, except the themes tend to be universal, and the visuals are, it's like you and I could walk down the street right now and you pick up trucks and jeans,
Right.
and
Well, my kids watched The Office
my daughter
10
too.
years after it was off the air. Friends, 10 years after it was off the air. I watched I Love Lucy.
Forever.
I would just watch whatever was on. And I knew I Love Lucy was dated, but it was funny and
Right.
I didn't mind and there was nothing else on. And, I think historically, and it's true, some shows are better with, not better with age, but they don't feel dated.
Right, like you watch Miami Vice now. It's
Right.
kind of hard to watch, right?
Oh my God.
Nothing against any of those people.
No,
but
everything against. I literally, now, Andrew, you got to find it because I was going to interview Ted Nugent in Texas a few weeks ago. And on the way in, I was driving in, and the person I was driving with said, you saw him on Miami Vice, right? And I was
no.
like, no, I wasn't. My kind of thing, even as a younger person, is I kind of looked at Miami Vice as kind of cheeseball even back then. Like, you can't find pictures of me wearing stonewashed denim and with long hair or anything, because my only gift is being able to spot out lame shit in real time.
Right.
Like, history's not going to be kind to this look or
Right.
this vibe or whatever it is. And so I was from North Hollywood, California. The Miami Vice thing seemed like bullshit to me.
yeah, I just wanted to be on it, so because everyone in my, I was in the '80s in New York, and we were all getting flown to. You could not only was it a gig on TV, but you get flown to Florida for a week.
Oh, my God.
You know.
But I was So I never really watched it, but I wasn't an actor, so I didn't. You had a little more. Your thoughts, your aspirations were more practical than mine. Mine was like, this is a goofball TV show people will make fun of in a few years. So when I was going to interview Ted Nugent,
there he is.
Somebody explained to me, did you see his arc on Miami Vice? And I said, no, I absolutely didn't. And they said, you better watch it on your phone.
So it was more than one
now.
episode.
It was. I think he starred. It's hard for me to tell if it was more than one episode, but he played the heavy, and it was awesome.
Right.
Because Ted can't act.
Yeah, but he looks like a good heavy.
Oh yeah, lots of hair. Well, I'll play the.
Right.
Oh,
Look
this
at
is the best part.
Look at the pastel graphics.
Oh, it's all great. The music is great. All right, Don Johnson is with his woman. Ted's beating up Don Johnson.
Come on.
The stomach, the gut punch.
Get the hell up.
He's gonna shoot him with a crossbow. I love the decor. I love the music.
But you know what's interesting is the lighting is kind of really good. I mean, that's not like that's better than TV.
You see the hair come out from under the fedora. Now here's Ted. Here's Ted the thespian. There's dialogue here. By the way, good-looking chicks just sat around and thought about stuff back then. You know.
Okay.
That's good lighting. I'm here to tell you, Adam. That's like not bad. That's not bad lighting.
Whoever gaffed that did a great job. Ted just smacked his lady friend. Shirt off, hair flowing.
Definitely Miami. How's the eye?
Hardly shows now.
That's back when women did not complain about getting beaten by Ted Nugent.
No, he wouldn't.
She didn't make it with him.
Old-fashioned. Don't shoot him in the face, okay?
Sure.
All right, that's Nugent. Oh wait, it just says this. It's so funny. I think the first scene I saw was the one that back 5 seconds.
He was on multiple episodes, did you say?
I'm watching it on my phone driving through Texas,
right,
trying to figure out what's going on.
Right.
He's changing outfits. There's a lot of storyline going on.
A lot about clothes.
But if you do this one, the first one I saw was this.
Burnett. So, we meet again.
I watched that and I'm like, I don't believe him. Ted Nugent said, Burnett,
for me?
We meet again. I was like, I don't believe him as an actor.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But Don Johnson, man, that guy still looks amazing. You see him around town? He looks amazing.
Yeah.
And he was a big party boy, so he figured something out.
Yeah. So, did you ever get on Miami Vice?
Never got on it, but all my friends did. I mean,
really?
everyone. Every single one. I must audition for...
Who'd you come up with?
Well, I'm not in terms of who did this show, but... Fisher Stevens and Matthew Broderick and
are these like
Craig
sort of
Sheffer,
New York actor
yeah.
guys you came up with?
Yeah. We were all in the theater.
Right.
And we even started a theater company that actually is still around 40 years later. And that was kind of our home place to have some kind of autonomy. And big parties. We were actually known, like Vanity Fair covered us and stuff. We were like the It Company, and we would throw these parties that would be, after every show, when it closed, we would have these kind of mushroom parties and just get wasted and just have these great, dance parties, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. There was, I don't know, what to call it, innocent time or something, but people could just sort of do what they wanted.
compared to now, right? You wouldn't have to watch your back. Like now, if you were throwing those parties now, people would be filming, shooting with their phones.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
There was a kind of innocence for sure.
Yeah, it was sort of basically it's what smoking was. Like if you want to smoke a cigarette at a mushroom party, you just light a cigarette. You didn't go, now you've got to go hide behind the dumpster and in the alley, smoke half a cigarette, put it out, hit a little banaka and come back into the party.
Right.
Like, it's like people just kind of, if you felt like smoking, you would smoke. And like, it's not like people who didn't smoke liked secondhand smoke. It was just, they were at a party.
Right.
People smoke.
Right.
You don't like it, just go in the kitchen.
Restaurants, just rooms where you'd be inhaling secondhand smoke and not even thinking about it.
No, it was...
Did you smoke?
I smoked like... If I was drinking, I would smoke guy.
I wish I could be someone like that. I was a 2-pack a day guy by the time I gave it up. But
Really?
I'm so envious of people that can just have a couple cigarettes with a drink.
It's a wiring that I've realized is very unique, and it's also a wiring that many people don't have, which redundant. But it's also a thing where doctors will never believe you.
Right.
So if they go, do you smoke? I'll go, on the weekend if I'm having a cocktail, they'll go, okay, you're a smoker.
Right.
And I go, no, I'm not telling you. And they go, no, nobody's. They don't say you're a liar. What they're saying is this is bullshit.
Right.
This guy smoked before he came to this office. He's going to have a cigarette when he leaves. Like I've never really found a person who smoked like I smoked, which is just sort of catch as catch can.
There's a lot of you out there. I'm so
Are
jealous.
there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I never run into those people.
I think my wife can do,
I do think women...
At a party, they'll have a cigarette.
Women have the weird chip cigarette with the glass of wine thing that guys don't seem to have.
I want that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is a thing, and I don't know how you feel, but I feel the same way about drinking as I do about smoking, which is like, I like it, and I don't want it to ever get to a point where we go, hey, man, this is a problem.
I stopped drinking.
Got to stop.
I stopped, and I like not drinking. But I was never a big drinker, but I was a big stoner. Like, that was my thing. Uh-huh. I gave up both. And I like it. Like, I didn't have to. It wasn't like I got in trouble or anything. Mm-hmm. So I made the choice, and I could at any point not or have, but I just feel better.
Without the pot, without the booze.
Yeah. Like when I wake up,
yeah.
I feel like I just feel clearer headed. I spent so many years doing all that stuff. I mean, 30 years at least was, that was a regular thing for me. So like all of a sudden it's like a new person. It's like, oh, right. I'm this guy. You know? I'm not like a stoned guy or drinking guy. But it was fun. But I enjoyed it. Like I don't regret it, and I don't begrudge anyone doing it. People.
Yeah, the young actor starting off parties are just some of the best memories I've had, like with the improv troupe after the show wraps or whatever, going over to Mark Drotman's apartment and everyone just having a good time. Just sort of on a budget, but just sort of everyone was funny.
Yeah.
Everyone's had a great personality.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great time. And, but I guess you grow out of it, right? I mean, there's people, you see the people that are still trying to do it, and it's sad.
Well, it's interesting when you're at a phase where everything is sort of a possibility.
Yeah.
Versus been there, done that. And it's also
That's a great distinction. Everything's a possibility. That's at that time.
Right. Good and bad, but up for grabs.
Yeah.
What's the future hold? Like a lot of that. It's a different mindset. Also versus a kind of a protect the lead kind of thing where you're sort of trying to hang on to what you have or what you had versus what's next.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was all so new and all so full of potential.
Yeah.
And you'd hear little bits and pieces of so-and-so got a job writing on Animaniacs.
Right.
He's making $2,200 a week.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of stuff. And it was like, oh my God, potential. Like
But
something.
that gave you, that, at least for me anyway, that gave me, like when Fisher, you know, got his first movie and I was right there, I was like, oh man, because I didn't come from showbiz, so I didn't, you know, it wasn't like easy getting into it. And when a friend of mine, a pal, broke in with a movie, you're just like, oh my God, it's possible. You can do this. One can do this.
Well, I mean, what was your big, I know you did Mother with Albert Brooks, one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, man. That was like, I'll tell you,
That had to be a thrill.
I'll tell you about the audition for that. It was so genius because, so they call and they say, Albert is interested in you for this movie. And I'm like, I'm in, you know, without, I'm
Right.
such a fan. So they said, but he wants to, you know, at that point I was getting offers and only, so, but he said he needs to read, you need to read for it. And I was like, no problem, when and where? So he said, they're going to fly you out. I was in New York. They fly me out here to LA. I go to Paramount on a Sunday, I think it was. And I get led into Albert's office. He's got a little teeny office with a secretary outside, you know, and nothing. And, you know, he doesn't look like he spends a lot of time there. And I come in, I got my sides, the pages for the two scenes he wants me to.
You were going for the role of his brother.
His brother
Right.
in Mother. And Debbie Reynolds was already cast. And I come in, I put my sides on the desk in front of me, and he's on the other side of the desk. It's just he and I, and we're going to read together. And the sides are there so I can see them, but I know them. And I say my first or second line, and he goes, I want you to do the movie. And I was like, all right. And that was it. And I didn't have to read anymore. And all I wanted to do was improvise with him. So like every day I'd be like, come on, Albert, let's just fuck around, you know?
Right.
And he let, you know, he would, as long as we got what he needed, he would let us play around. And he's amazing. I mean, what a gift that was to be able to, and he had the cushest deal. He had it was David Geffen, I think, was his producer, and he got like, you know, $25 million to make this movie that was just the three of us basically. I mean, there was, and we would shoot 7-8 hours a day. That would be the whole day, one scene, which was like, you know, to me that was just utter luxury. I was used to coming out of like 9 pages a day,
Right.
And so to get to go to that kind of environment was just so relaxed, and we could do what we wanted and take our time. And then Albert was just a great, you know, he just was really, he's so funny, and improvising with him was such a joy.
He's, you know, he's funny, but he also makes important movies.
Yeah.
That really take a good look at sort of the human condition. And, you know,
He's super smart. I mean,
I was telling my son who's
Albert
19.
Einstein, right?
Yeah, he is. That's his name. I told my son the other day, I go, what? Watch Defending Your Life again, would you
Love
please?
that
And
movie.
he said, oh, I saw it with you when I was like 9. I go, I know, but now you're 19 and you're going to have a different perspective on it.
Such a great movie.
There's a scene, I love that movie,
Yeah.
because it's super funny, but it's also really smart, but it's also like a pretty interesting perspective on like how you should live your life.
Absolutely.
And the scene, I don't know why there's one scene that makes me laugh the hardest in that movie, and I can't figure it out. I probably talked to Albert Brooks about it when I was interviewing him a million years ago. And now, Andrew, you got to find it. But the scene where they go back to young Albert Brooks and he gets accused of stealing paint back when anyone
beginning.
Right.
When he's looking back at his life.
He's looking back at his life.
Right.
It's in the middle of the film, and they're going back, and they're examining his life. And it's really kind of an interesting thought. It's like you're in court, and you have a lawyer, and there's also a prosecutor, and we're trying to figure out what kind of life you
Well,
led.
that's what we hear, right? You're gonna have to deal with that at the, you know, your day of reckoning. you know?
Right. So who are you, the person that picks up the wrapper with Rob or
That's
leaves
right. I
it
get
on the
points for
ground?
that.
You get points.
I'm building points.
So there's that great scene where he stole the paint, but the teacher, who's perfect, with like a weird comb over,
Right.
goes, class, how much is the paint? and half the class goes $3, but the other class half goes $3.50.
Right.
And they goes, how much are the brushes? $8. And what is that combined? And then half the class says $11, and the other half says $11.50. And I don't know why. I love stuff in movies that doesn't need to be there. Like
Right,
nobody
right.
would. I don't know why you would even write that. You know, it's not even really.
I don't remember it to tell you the
It's
truth,
not
but-
even a gag.
Right.
But it's just there.
Right.
Like it's
Well,
it's
he's
a
very
little Easter egg.
idiosyncratic, you know.
Yes.
He's got these ideas that sometimes that don't track, but they work. You know, their texture. You know, they're not. It's not all everything isn't gags with him. By the way, he wrote a novel that was really cool called 2022 or 23.
Yes.
It was really interesting.
Yes, I agree. So I don't know if underappreciated is how we should say it, but in a world full of like funny people, he deserves his own rest stop
Absolutely.
with his name on it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that had to be just a thrill.
It was the coolest, and I hung out with him a bit, and I just, yeah, it was a gift. I've, you know, it's such a blessing to get to work with people like that, to spend time with them. You know, it really feels. I feel grateful for like hanging out with him or Redford or. You know, all the different, even in Roland Joffe, who directed The Grey House, is, you know, I don't know if you know his work, but he's one of the great. I've worked with him 3 times now. He's a master filmmaker. He made a movie called The Mission, and he made The Killing Fields. And
Yeah, he's been around.
spending time with that guy was just such a gift. I mean, it's rare.
People, then also, you know, Robert Redford, you know, these people aren't around forever. You know, it's really incredible that you got to spend time with people like that. I mean, especially as you get older, you just start thinking about, you know, sometimes, I don't know why, but someone will go, hey, Norm Macdonald, this or that. I'm like, yeah, he's gone. But
Right.
I got to hang out with him and do stuff with him. And
It's even wilder when you, like for someone like Redford, for me, you know, I grew up watching him before I had any thought I'd be doing this. And then all of a sudden I'm going to his house, you know, and it's like, and then I'm working with him, and then I'm, you know, he was a bit of a mentor for a while for me. And, you know, that I always think it's a kind of like a synchronicity of something, you know, that like, that kid in me knew something when I was because I was so intrigued by him, right? But somewhere I knew, you know, if you look at time being not linear and all that kind of nonsense, you know, somewhere I knew something, and it was true that I was going to be involved with this guy.
Yeah, I know him as a good dude. I don't know him personally. There is a kind of a yardstick you can kind of measure people by,
Right.
which is when you make a documentary, if they agree to be in it, they're always cool. If they disagree, then they're kind of douchey.
Wait, I'm lost. What?
I made a documentary about Paul Newman.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Which one?
I made it about his racing life, his automobile racing life.
What's it called?
It's called Winning the Racing Life of Paul Newman. It was based somewhat on a book that I'd received.
Cool. I didn't know that. I love Paul Newman.
Yeah, we'll find the trailer for it at some point. But it's a good doc, and it's really only Paul Newman, the race car driver. It's
And you
not,
interviewed Bob.
Yeah, and many people
Right.
in his life. It's a sort of a doc that has Robert Redford and Mario Andretti in it, which I don't know if those guys share docs too often,
Right.
Because it's a different group. But you have to talk to Robert Redford and you have to talk to Mario Andretti.
Well, Bob liked his Porsches. I remember Fisher and I actually were staying in a house he lent us in outside of Santa Fe, and he had this gray, beautiful vintage Porsche in the garage, and we kept, but he didn't give us the keys to that.
It was an old one.
Yeah.
That was a 904, I think. It was like a race car.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was beautiful, and we kept all week.
Very expensive, by the way, now.
Right, but he never left us the key. He left us the house, but not the keys to. So
Yeah.
all week we were looking around, where's the key to the garage? Because we weren't going to drive it, but we wanted to just sit in it.
I'll play the trailer for it. Chime is changing the way people bank because it's built for you, not the 1%. They have products like MyPay, giving you access to up to $500 of your paycheck anytime, and you can get paid up to 2 days early. They also help you build credit history and earn up to 3% APY on savings. It's the new way to build credit history with your own money and get rewarded every single day. I joined, and my banking is as easy as it's ever been, and I know it's going to help you too. It's Chime. Right, Dawson?
Chime is not just smarter banking, it is the most rewarding way to bank. Join the millions who are already banking fee-free today. Takes just a few minutes to sign up. Head to chime.com/Adam. That is chime.com/Adam.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services, a secured Chime Visa credit card, and MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply, and credit limit ranges $20 to $500. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. See chime.com/fees info. Advertised annual percentage yield with Chime Plus status only. Otherwise, 1.00% APY applies. No min balance required. Chime card on-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. See chime.com for details and applicable terms.
O'Reilly Auto Parts are in the business of keeping a car on the road. That's what business they're in. There are not many car issues I have that I can't figure out, but if I'm ever stumped, I call O'Reilly immediately. I've got thousands, or I should say they've got, well, I got thousands of parts too, but they got thousands more parts, and it's in stock, either in store or online. Never have to worry if you're in a jam. They'll also test your battery for free, and if it needs to be replaced, they'll help you find the right one. Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll see the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are helpful and friendly. O'Reilly is your one-stop shop for all things auto do-it-yourself. That's O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right, Dawson?
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit us at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
When you get out to that track, you sit down in that car, whatever it is that's roiling around your head, it just goes right out the window.
You could tell that this was a big, big thing in his life.
He made the movie winning and kind of fallen in love with racing.
He was 48 years old when he started.
The only thing that I ever found any grace in was an automobile.
He wanted to be looked at as a driver, not as an Academy Award winner.
He wasn't so much divided between the two. It was that film would come second to racing.
There he is.
He was terrible at first.
The studios didn't want him doing that.
I mean, they think, oh, Jesus, what is he doing in a race car? Is he crazy?
Oh, Newman involvement have gone on! The only way that you're ever going to win a race is just to be right on the edge of it all the time.
His whole career looked as though it was going to go down the drain because all he wanted to do was race.
I think everybody wanted him to quit racing except him.
They'll have to strap me down before they keep me out of these things.
There was a tendency to write him off as an actor. It's very, very difficult with celebrities. They're used to being a winner, and in racing, you got to pay your dues.
You're always competing with yourself. You're trying to bring a little extra to your performance.
I think he liked the camaraderie, the fellowship of that relationship with a fellow driver. It's just nothing like it. It's not anything you can have in Hollywood at all.
He was really a good driver.
It's Newman's 4th national championship.
Pressure to win grew as he did win, and people expected him to win again.
People didn't even think of him as being a movie star racer. He was just a racer.
He is that classic red-blooded American boy.
Paul has a saying I'm sure you've heard where he says, winning isn't everything, it's just all there is.
You see it with the Oscars. People vote. They say him or her. In this, you either cross the finish line first, and it's either him or her.
Cool. So when did you make this?
Oh, well, 10 years ago, maybe?
And were you were obviously, I know you're into cars, but you were a fan of Newman's, or just the idea of him being, like, what? How did that...
I own 14 of his race cars.
Oh, wow.
So the cars you see in that trailer, most of them I own.
Oh, no way, cool.
Yeah, so then I race them So then I was like, somebody's got to make a movie about. Oh, what would happen?
Hadn't been one? No,
well,
there must have been.
No.
Really?
What would happen to me is I would be racing Paul Newman's cars, and then people like, Paul Newman, what? And I'd be like, his race cars. And I go, the popcorn guy? And I'd go, no, he raced cars. And they'd go, I don't know any. So then I talked to enough people who had no idea that he raced cars that I was motivated to go, somebody's got to come out with a doc that shows, because I knew everything about his car racing career because I had the cars and I would talk to his own
Did you talk to
team
him?
guys.
Was he around?
No,
No,
he
he
was
was
dead
gone.
by the time I made this.
I often think of that phrase that he said, which is when it came, before he even said it here, I knew it was going to, it was going to be in there. It's the only thing I ever done that with any grace.
Right.
Which is so interesting because if you were looking for a way to describe his film persona, you would say graceful, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yet he didn't see it that way. And also, there's something interesting in that footage where he seemed so much more himself, in those environments than he did as a movie star. He just seems like a different guy, like a regular guy.
Yeah, the story that would keep being repeated from Bob Sharp, who's his team owner with him, and all the other people that were in his galaxy of racing, they would all say the same thing. They'd go, if you wanted to talk cars or racing or anything with Paul, he'll sit with you for an hour. If you wanted to start bringing up Hollywood, he had to leave.
Right.
And they all sort of said, I mean, it became apparent that, he was a little bit prickly if you wanted to come up to him and ask him to sign your autograph or talk Hollywood or gossip or anything like that. But he'd be at the track all weekend.
Yeah.
And you go to Road Atlanta, you got to live at Road Atlanta because Road Atlanta's way outside of Atlanta.
Right.
And you have to set up a trailer.
Right.
And that's where all the salad dressing came from. Stuff he'd barbecue for the crew. You have to have it's like a small army has to move in for the weekend with the mechanics and the backups and
But it's
the
like
parts.
a movie company, basically.
Yeah. Trailers start pulling in and qualifying on practice on Thursday and qualifying on Friday.
Yeah,
race
it's a whole
Saturday.
world.
Like it's a whole world.
Yeah.
And he would live there. And you'd live amongst the drivers and the mechanics and everybody who was there.
Right.
But they didn't bother him with movie stuff.
Right.
They were talking car stuff.
Yeah.
And he liked that. And yes, he seemed like he was very relaxed in that environment.
Yeah.
But he lived in Connecticut. He didn't live in Encino.
Right. He didn't Connecticut, New York.
He didn't want to be part of it.
I guess not. Yeah, he definitely. But he loved it too. He loved acting. He loved stories. He loved movie making. I mean, he may have gotten sick of the pomp and circumstances around it.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, in a way, going back to.
Did you see Ethan Hawke's documentary about him?
The Gray House. Yeah, except for I'll tell you, I have a problem with that. I'll tell you why. He's kind of Costner-esque, and Costner loves the story. He just doesn't want to live in Hollywood and deal with the mess. You know what I mean?
It's just understandable.
Yes. Ethan Hawke. All right, now I'm looking at poor Andrew. that paint thing. It's probably it's 5/8 into the movie. I would say. I'd say if the movie is hour and 45, it's an hour in, as I would say. But this is the problem with Hollywood. Ethan Hawke made a whole thing about Newman, and there was like 21 seconds of, and he liked to drive cars. Now let's go on to the time he did this Shakespearean play. And I'm like, his number one thing was driving cars.
Right.
And Ethan Hawke's number one thing is acting.
Right.
So now it's an interesting thing. Now you're going to make a documentary about a guy whose number one thing was car driving.
Right.
He had a 40-year car racing career, and that's all he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But all you want to do is act.
I can forgive him that. Because
can't.
that's his. You can't.
Well, he made like a 3-part doc. He should have given him 3 minutes of racing. Look, here's what I'm saying. I don't know what is your passion outside of acting?
Music.
Music.
Yeah.
Okay. Music, creating music and music.
Yeah.
All right. So if I made a 3-part doc about you and didn't touch on your love of music, then I would be a douche.
You wouldn't have understood me.
Right.
All right,
You did a big long doc about Paul Newman and didn't get what his raison d'etre was. Like his essence was racing.
Right.
And you didn't cover it because you're not interested in cars.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
what I'm saying.
I get your point. It's a valid point.
Thank you, douche. All right.
Who's a douche?
Ethan Hawke.
No, he's
for not covering his racing. All right, here it is. This is the scene. Sorry.
Oh, this is the Albert. This is,
I took
Defending
40
Your
minutes,
Life.
but yeah, enjoy. I don't know why. Now, everybody can say to me, pause it. Why is this funny to me?
Okay.
I don't know. It's funny because it doesn't need to be in the movie.
All right.
Albert is looking back on the 9-year-old version of him. We got a little sound issue.
Well, I'm playing it from my own personal laptop. This is my movie, so I have to switch the audio. Hold on a second.
Personal laptop?
This is my own It's not on the internet. I had to find it online.
Is it the laptop you put stupid stickers on?
Yeah.
Why does everyone need to adorn a laptop with their
All right, we're
stupid
cutting this.
stickers? What's everyone? I don't.
Because
how much do I need to know about you and your laptop?
Because we
with your
have them.
stupid
They're so
stickers?
much a part of our lives.
There are no stickers on my laptop.
Okay,
I'll have
good for
know.
you. But every chick at Starbucks, I got to know exactly what she's into by the stickers on her laptop. By the way, I don't know how it works, but resale can't be great with a bunch of stickers on your
Gotta
laptop.
take them off, I guess.
All right, so hold on. This is. Are you saying this from your personal laptop, Andrew? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. When you're ready, then you can tell me. Here it is.
I love the whole set design.
Everything's great. It's brilliant, really.
I'm on probation for stealing those books. Now they're gonna think I stole this. I'm gonna be expelled. You won't be expelled. Of course I will. I'm already on probation. I'm in big trouble.
I love the teacher.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wadsworth.
Continue working on the assignments you started last Tuesday.
Here, take these. Really? I'll say I lost mine, but you'll get in trouble. Just do it.
This guy's great.
Daniel, where are your supplies?
I left them at home.
You left them.
I lost them.
What did you do? Lose them or leave them?
Well, both. I left them and I lost them.
Where are your supplies, Daniel? What's going on? Do you know how much these things cost? Class, tell Daniel how much the paints cost.
$10.
And the brushes?
$3.
What's the total?
$13.
You don't have any paint, you can't be an artist.
Totally.
I don't know if I'm laughing because you primed me for it or I'm doing it.
It's totally unnecessary.
It's very funny, though. I don't know if I would have picked up on it.
It's those kinds of details. That's why a Ferrari is great.
You're
know,
right.
The little stuff.
It's
you
very
know what I
funny.
mean?
It's very funny.
I want to hear him do it one more time. Just the number. It was $10 and $3 and $3.50. And by the way, he had to coach these kids.
Right.
You know, he had to go.
Because he probably was written as one, and then as he was doing, he says, "No, you guys say 350." And
then when you add them, the same people that said 350 are going to make it 1350, and then the other
we
ones
didn't get to that part.
Oh yeah, they do it. Here it is.
Here, take these. Really? I'll say I lost mine, but you'll get in trouble. Just do it.
He looks just like Albert.
He does.
Daniel, where are your supplies?
I left them at home.
You left them.
I lost them.
What did you do? Lose them or leave them?
Well, both. I left them and I lost them.
Where are your supplies, Daniel? What's going on? Do you know how much these things cost? Class, tell Daniel how much the paints cost.
$10.
And the brushes?
$3.
What's the total?
$13.
You don't have any paint, you can't be an artist, Daniel.
All right. Listen.
It's funny, but I swear I really don't know if I would have laughed if you hadn't. That's funny. That's into itself is that I didn't pick up on it.
Well, there's so many great jokes in it.
Right.
But all movies at least try for those jokes. It's the little ones that
But it's not a joke.
noticed.
It's just
no, it's not.
It's funny because it's just real. Like it's like that the kids are all, that somehow they got the information wrong.
And the class got split between the $3 and the $3.50 group.
You know, somewhere there's an outtake of the teacher going, "Now, okay, who said $3.50?"
Right, right. But that's what makes someone a genius. It's the little.
I agree.
It's the little stuff. You know.
I agree. He is a genius.
And then so, Quiz Show, which is an amazing film,
which Paul Newman almost was in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bob wanted to cast him for a while in the Paul Scofield part, which is Rafe's father, Mark Van Doren, and I don't think Paul wanted to do it, but he wouldn't have been as well cast as Scofield ultimately was.
What? Let's see. What year was that?
We shot it in, I think, 93.
I wonder if he was running in the Trans Am series in '93.
That could have been a reason too. But that's when I met him, was at the opening, and I remember he walked by. I didn't want to bother him because I would only talk about movies, probably not race cars. So I kind of sensed that. But he came walking by me and squeezed my elbow, which was like the highlight of my night.
Oh, Newman, really?
Yeah.
So he came to the opening.
Yeah.
God, that had to be a thrill.
It was so. I mean, yeah. Everyone was at that opening, but that set was constantly being visited by people, and everyone just wanted to be around Bob. Like
yeah, Redford.
Yeah,
was that movie was nominated, right?
It was nominated for Best Pictures, I think screenplay. Schofield was nominated.
Who won everything that year?
I think it might have been a Pulp Fiction year.
94.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a Pulp Fiction year.
Yeah.
I think it was 90.
Which is understandable. Yeah. I mean, that was such a seminal movie, Pulp Fiction. It really was radical.
Well, they're good movies, and then they're sort of game changer movies that sort of change the format of movies.
Right. Quiz Show's a good classic. I mean, it still holds up. I've seen it, recently. It's a solid movie, and especially in retrospect, because even in the 90s when it came out, to think like, wait, that was. People really believe that a quiz show wasn't rigged,
right.
But now with all this time, it still holds up. But Pulp Fiction is, as you say, a game changer.
It's a good sign when you're a filmmaker like Tarantino. I will toggle back and forth. Like I'll be like, I want Inglourious Bastards, yeah. That. Oh no, Django. No. Oh, Once Upon a Time, and oh no, Pulp Fiction was so. And I'll just keep going back and forth.
You mean in terms of what you think is the hierarchy?
It's like the Coen brothers, with some of their films. It's like, geez, I don't know that I could pick a definitive number one.
Doesn't he say
three.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think?
Is what...
he thinks his best film, I think. Or Inglourious Bastards, I can't remember.
I don't know what he personally says. I was in Texas doing some shows a few weeks ago, and somehow the Coen brothers came up and they did one of those top 10 ranked Coen brothers.
Right.
I'm convinced, though, they just do that to piss me off.
Piss you off?
Yeah, personally.
Right.
Yeah, Rolling Stone will do that. They'll go, Joan Jett, best rock guitar. I'll go, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
They're doing it to anger me.
Right. Well, they engage you. That's half the battle.
Yeah, but it was the Coen brothers, top 10, which was great, but Fargo was not number one or whatever. No. There was quite a few films that were above Raising Arizona. Right. And I'm like, Raising Arizona is another game changer film.
Yeah.
And it's a different... Oh, you know what happened? Here's weird. Inglourious Bastards, Tarantino considers his best. The Coen brothers top 10. Okay, here's what happened. I was thinking the other day, like on movies that you like, you think back on certain scenes, right?
Yeah.
And I love that whole Arizona thing. The guy who owned the unpainted furniture store, who changed his name to Arizona,
right?
And so there was a scene where they go, wait a minute, is your last name Arizona? Your kid's name's really Arizona? And he goes, no, my name's not real Arizona. He goes, well, why didn't you? I think the furniture store was called like Unpainted Arizona. And he goes, well, would you buy furniture from a place called Unpainted Huff Hines? I was like, that's funny. And then I was driving through Texas, and there was a big billboard, like, nominate John Huff Hines.
Wait, now?
Now, like 2 weeks ago. And I started looking at it. I was like, there is a guy named Huff Hines. Like, I didn't know. Well, I thought, I was thinking about it.
Wait, would nominate him for what?
They want him for city council or Congress.
But there's a completely he's not related. It's just coincidental. That's a real name is what you're saying.
Yes, and I was thinking, is that a name?
Right.
And I was thinking about when I was back in L.A., and then 3 days later, I was in Texas seeing a big sign that said, vote for Steve Huff Hines.
Man, you should be betting on the stock market or something.
I know. Readers poll 10. Dawson, who is running for Texas Senate? Huff Hines. Like, what's the dude's name?
Corwin is one of them, right?
No, Huff Hines.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Not asking about Corwin. All right, so wait a minute. Raising Arizona is number 6, which Miller's Crossing number 5. Oh, brother, we're out there. But more than Raising Arizona, you idiots? Sorry, I get angry. No Country for Old Men should be number 1. Fargo should be number 1.
This must have to do with popularity. I'll bet you what the box office really. Oh, The Big Lebowski.
Nah, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's such a favorite.
I get it, but my God, No Country for Old Men. I mean, what a film.
What a masterpiece.
What a masterpiece.
Texas
I need to do a
Senate is
Coen
Corwin
Brothers
and
fest.
Paxton. I'm looking to see where Huff Hines is.
Well, just put his name in, like put Huff Hines in Texas or whatever. But
It's so funny. You're right. It's like, it's not a
would you
real
buy
name.
furniture from a place
Would you
called
elect Huff Hines?
The dude's name is Huff Hines. And it was so weird that I was just sitting in my condo going, is that a name? Is that a real name?
Right,
is there
right.
anyone? And then when I started thinking, I've never heard of anyone named Huff Hines. I didn't go to high school then. And then I pass a big billboard.
Right.
Donald Huff Hines, conservative, Tea Party, Republican, owns a restaurant, owns a real estate company. Well, what's he running? I don't know, but what's he running for? He's running for whatever in Texas, right?
He was in the Texas Senate from 2015 to 2019.
Wow. It's funny because when you come up with these names in the scripts, there's such a vetting process with the business affairs people that it's like that's why I think so many names are so bizarre. They have to make you have to make names that aren't real, because if there's a possibility that there is an actual Huffheims out there, with the same first name, they're worried they're going to get sued.
Yeah, so what they do is, if you make your character a name, they go see if there are other people that have that name, so you won't get sued.
Right.
Which is an insane process.
Yeah.
And then, but
it's also the 555 thing, which it just drives me crazy. It
drives
takes me
nuts.
right out of
the film.
But sometimes I've noticed lately, I'm not seeing it as much. But I don't know how they're getting around it.
The part that drives me nuts is.
Yeah, it's awful.
I did it. So first off, you can fix it. Like, first off, a lot of it is unnecessary. Like the person's in the phone booth, in the movie, and they're like, "All right, you need to call me back." And then they go, "You can reach me at 555," and then they cut. It's like, just say you need to call me back and hang up the phone. Like, we don't. I'll go along with you on this. When you yell 555,
it takes you right out.
Or when the guy goes, he's picking up the chick, and then she goes, "Well, here's my number." And they do tight on her writing it down. How about just hand him a piece of paper?
Right.
There's a number.
Yeah.
You did the 555.
Right. Why do I need to see the number?
I did a pilot where my guy was a driving instructor at his own driving academy or whatever. And we needed one of those like magnetic signs on the thing that said Z-Best Driving Academy or whatever.
Right.
And they were going, "All right, 555." And I go, "No, I don't want the 555.
So how'd you get around it?
I took a regular phone number.
Right.
I said, just take a regular phone number, 818-763, like a Valley phone number. And then the last number, there'll be a dent in the side of the car.
Right, that's smart.
It'll be like taken out.
Right.
So we'll just have this.
Yeah.
My guy's a loser.
Right.
And it'll vandalize his own crappy car.
I just don't understand why it's a big deal anyway. So what? Like, because what? So how many people are going to call the number? Like really? Like it just seems maybe now with.
I don't know. We should ask Tommy Two-Tone how that works.
Yeah.
He made that up.
He made up that number.
Yeah, the name Jenny, the numbers, they just came to his head. He was just trying to
Right, it just sounds good.
But isn't it somebody's number?
If you enter that number in any grocery store, you will get the grocery store discount because someone has always registered it with any area code.
Oh, really?
Man, I learned something new here. That's great.
But yeah, no, he
that could probably apply to a lot of things where you have to put your phone number for.
I never thought about that.
I didn't either. That's useful information.
I'm heading to the Ralphs right after we get off the air. All right, you got to unplug maybe the computer or something. Yeah. Anyway, Huff Hines is an actual name.
Huff Hines,
and he ran. It's also a weird life where you're sitting around contemplating this name for some reason, and then 4 days later you're driving through Texas and you look up at a giant billboard. That's what I mean.
That's why you're kind of hooked into the universe right now, I think.
I am. But it's only good for Coen Brothers movies.
There's got to be some other. You have to.
I got to take it to the track.
Else.
You're right. You're right. Music.
Yeah.
You love music.
Love it.
Who are some of the people you love in music?
Oh man, it's all over the map. It's from the classic rock guys to before, to the jazz guys, to Miles, that whole thing, to before, to Tommy Dorsey, to up now, to I'm listening to Bruno Mars put out something new that I was just listening to, and I like everything. I'm all over the map.
What music do you play?
What I play is what we call it. I've written a lot of music. I had a band for a while, and we call it soulful rock, funky pop.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, it was melodic. It was familiar melody. It was comfortable melodies with lyrics that meant something.
Mm-hmm.
I love. It's the most immediate. I wouldn't go as far as to say what Paul said is the only thing I do that's graceful, but like there's something that when I'm in that pocket, as they say, it's irrefutable. You know, you can't deny when a note is on pitch and it hits you. It just hits you in a way that you can't, that words don't work, and so it connects me to something bigger than myself, and it's joy. There's real joy there.
Well, I think what we're looking for. And it's why people do drugs and get addicted to sex. We're looking for a sort of a freedom. I don't want to sound corny. I mean,
no, it's a transcendence, and it's a sense. And I think what we're talking about and I think this is what Newman was getting at. This is certainly what I'm getting at. Is this sense of awe, of this awe of existence, which is aside from all the shit that we have to wade through on this planet, the amazing thing about being alive, and sitting here with you and laughing, it's like it's amazing.
I think we have a yearning to sort of escape what is always with us. It's a kind of a gravity, big picture, it's death.
For sure.
It's just we're all going to die. Everyone knows it. Okay, then secondly, you get into unpaid bills, or there's this guy, there's an issue, or I have to, the unfinished business, tend to, whatever the fuck we're talking about, right? But we all want this sort of freedom, and you have to kind of simulate it now in a sense that when you're on stage and you're playing and you're in that pocket, in that groove and in that zone and everything is flowing, that's just where you are. You're present. That's not when you're behind the wheel of a race car, you think of nothing.
Skiing for me, mountain biking for me.
Right. Stuff coming at you fast.
Right.
And some danger.
It forces you to be present.
100%. And it's the only time in a world where you could be watching the Paul McCartney doc, but also kind of glancing at your phone or writing, thinking about shit you got to do tomorrow. You could be having a conversation, but also a little part of you is a little over here somewhere else, thinking about a little something else. Going down that ski slope at 40 miles an hour, there's nothing.
But what's in front of you? What's the ultimate one? What's the top of the cake of all of these? Sex.
Well, that's...
Or not just sex, but orgasm.
Yes, it's orgasm because sometimes you'll wander a little sexually, the brain. But that's why people want...
Right, but not, you don't tend to be thinking about your accounting bill when you're orgasming.
No, not so much.
No, I don't think so. I mean...
Unless you really love deductions. But no, it's true. So... I have hypervigilance. I'm always sort of thinking about this and thinking about that.
Me too.
But
that's
when
ADHD, is it not? Because I've been thinking about it a lot lately.
I don't know, but I can tell you when I get out of the race car, if you ask me what I was thinking, the answer would be, I have no idea.
Right.
Nothing.
That's why you love
There's
it.
nothing but. So he wanted that, but you can do it musically, and I think
it takes. By the way, it takes a lot of work for me because I only started writing music, 15 years ago, right? And so this became, I'd strummed for most of my life, but it became, it's a fascinating thing. It happened. I never thought I'd write a song. And then I wrote this song, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is what I want. It was like Newman. That's why when he said at 48, he became a race car driver. At 50 or 48, I became a songwriter and a musician. And I'm super dedicated to it now. But it was late in life.
Yeah, well, that's a kind of a gift, that it
gift.
didn't seem to exist in the past.
You know how that gift came from? Conan. Right? So I'm on the Warner's lot. Yeah, we're doing a show called The Whole Truth. It's 12 episodes on ABC. It's a disaster. It's not doing well. Jerry Bruckheimer thing. It's a law show. And Conan just came to the lot at Warner's for his TBS show, right? And they said anyone on the lot they'd set up a camera in his waiting room, and any shows could come get 10 minutes, and they'll put it on their site. So the PR people from ABC came and said, you got to do something. And I said, well, what should I do? They said, well, they saw me with a guitar all the time. They say, so sing a song. I was like, okay, and they were like, you have to do it in 2 hours. And so I took like a blues progression. I could write words, so I wrote lyrics, and I had my assistant with the cue cards, and I went in there and I sang it. And it's not, you can get it on YouTube, and it's not good or anything, but it was like, oh shit, I wrote a song and I performed it, and it wasn't terrible, and so I thank Conan for that. But it changed my life. It was a gift, that moment.
It's so interesting because when I was young, old people were old. And they acted old, and they didn't do anything any different than they did 20 years before that. They're just older.
Yeah.
And that was it. They're just kind of locked off, And now you start thinking about possibilities and what's the next chapter hold and what I want to do. And it's like kind of nuts because, listen, you're old, I'm old, and historically, it was time to just sort of put your feet up and put a cardigan sweater on and light a pipe and figure out the team you rooted for and just sit and keep box scores.
Because you hear, I every time someone tells me about their parent who's 92 or 93, it's like, you never heard that when I was a kid. Nobody was 92 or 93. Now everyone's 92 or 93. And, and the idea of being 100 is not unusual. 103 is not unusual. That was like science fiction when we were young. So you do have this potential, and I really advocate people to find, irregardless of whether it becomes a career or an avocation or anything, find things you love at any point in life and embrace them, because the joy I get from music is irreplaceable.
Yeah, well, it's and by the way, regardless of whether you make it in your 90s or not, go ahead and do it.
Absolutely,
because you and I, I could get hit by a truck leaving this place in an hour.
But what I'm saying is, if in theory, I could be playing, if I lived that long, you're right. I mean, who knows? But if I did, I could have music as a part of my, it could be the third of my life was about music.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting conversation. You're in town, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you should come back,
I'd love to.
Do it a little more consistently.
Cool, thanks.
I could show you some more doc trailers.
Yeah, good. I want to see your doc.
I think as a guy who's worked with a lot of the people that are in it and a fan of Newman and Redford for sure.
I remember my favorite Newman story was, you know, the Westport Playhouse, which was near his house, which I did a play up there, and they helped finance it, I think. And my friend was in a play there that Joanne Woodward directed, and Newman came. You know, everyone was waiting, when's Paul going to come? And they had the opening night, and Paul shows up, and he's got a bud in his hand, and he's wearing an orange windbreaker, and you know, probably came from the track, and my friend said. Went up to him and said, "Hi, Mr. Woodward. Nice to meet you."
Joanne Woodward's still alive, by the way.
Yeah, but kind of gone, right?
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But like literally contracted it 15 years ago.
Right.
And is still alive. Like kind of crazy.
I can't imagine.
I talked to his kids.
Yeah.
And his daughters, and they're over there every day, like live next door, and it's just kind of crazy.
I can't even get my head around what that's like. You know, for her, like what is that existence with not. I mean, maybe it's bliss. Maybe it's what we're talking about. Maybe it's just pure bliss because you have no, you know, anxiety. You probably don't. Well, you have anxiety, I think, but you don't have.
I don't know. Maybe that feeling of orgasm, or behind the race car wheel, or up on stage playing a lick. I don't know. Maybe it's a constant state of that. Look. I'd wish that for anyone who felt that way, but it's insane that she's still with us.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that, I guess.
I mean, you can look it up, Dawson, but I mean, is Joanne Woodward, is she, 95? I mean,
she's so talented too, man. I mean, you get that from Ethan's doc. You get how much you forget how amazing she was. You know,
you also forget how Paul liked to drive race cars.
I know.
96. She's 90. Yeah, she was real substantial. Dude, 96 years old.
Wow.
Got Alzheimer's when she was 79.
That's wild.
Or whatever.
That's wild.
All right, the plug, by the way, The Gray House. It's out on Prime as we speak. Very good. I was watching it last night. Where else can people go, Rob, if they want to follow you?
Well, I'm all over social media, so I've got stuff up there, and I'm on so many shows that actually are on Amazon Prime. Billions is on there, Numbers is on there, Northern Exposure's on there. What else I got?
Well, go to robmorrow.com for anything you want.
Sure.
Good to see you, Rob.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. At Marathon gas stations, every stop is the start of fun, like the awesome fuel savings you're going to get with Marathon Rewards. Join Marathon Rewards today and start earning rewards on every gallon of gas. You can redeem rewards at any time, saving up to $1 per gallon. Well, that adds up. And don't forget, Marathon stations are packed with all the conveniences you need to stock up on, to live life on the go. Marathon, where the fun runs on full. Available at participating Marathon locations. Terms and conditions apply. See marathonrewards.com for details.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
We're coming at you with everything we got.
This is the mindset. Free. This is the mantra. Free. This is the mindset. With movies like Pineapple Express, the entire Star Trek film franchise, and Gladiator, and TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts, Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam, it's Alan. Hey, I'm listening to your latest podcast with Bill O'Reilly. You used the word bucolic. Are you sure you barely graduated high school? Your vocabulary, I don't know. I had to look that word up. Later.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Please don't be so droll. Of course I swung a hammer on a construction site.
How pedantic of him.
Yes. Yeah. Well, listen, I knew I was uneducated, and I knew that when I got into comedy that I was at a deficit because I was uneducated and I did not know what a lot of things meant and wasn't familiar with things.
Mm-hmm.
And I could remember being on stage with Groundlings people and Acme people, and those are educated people. They all, there were no blue collar guys at the improv troupe sketch. They were all sort of college, smart. They wrote, they spelled, they wrote, they read. And now looking back on it, I can't think of one blue collar dude. And so they would say things on stage, like, "Oh, I'm working on my topiary," like that. And I didn't know what a topiary was. And I remember doing a scene where I think we were at a bris, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
I love that iced tea.
Yeah. So I didn't, and so I realized like pretty quickly, if I didn't catch myself up with some of the vocabulary and just things in general, I'm going to be left behind out on stage because I'm going to get caught not knowing things, So I made like an effort to try to teach myself things so I wouldn't. So they didn't really discover who I was, which is basically an uneducated blue collar guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of overcompensated.
Yeah, there's some situations out there. Like I always think of Days of Thunder. Cole Trickle, when he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what carburetors do. I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know brake manifolds or whatever it is. Obviously, that's not correct. But at some point, he goes, I could just get in the car and I could drive.
Yeah.
And I like guys like that who don't know the inner workings of what they're doing. They can just go out there and they can do it.
Intake manifold, exhaust
there you
manifold,
go. Yes, thank you.
Master cylinder.
Yes, thank you.
Trying to think.
Yeah.
And still to this day, master and slave cylinder, everybody.
Yeah.
The master tells the slave what to do. The master tells the slave to engage or disengage the clutch.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of that, I was thinking as we are, recently going back to the moon and just sort of how pedestrian it is now to take off, a spaceship.
Sure.
And then I started thinking about everything is just kind of safe now. And the thrilling part of it is, it's a spectacle, but it's not thrilling anymore because the danger part of it has been removed ostensibly. And then I thought going to the moon, which we first went to, or we first started launching, I don't know, in Apollo, 67, 68, 69. Maybe we go to the moon in 69. Anyway, I was thinking like in terms of the danger and where it is when we started, like in 69, let's say, 68, 69, and then where it is now, which is pretty pedestrian, and, it's always dangerous, but it's much safer. The course that followed is, the trajectory is exactly the same as F1. Mm-hmm. F1 was hairy in 68, 69, lots of deaths, fires. Safety wasn't really a priority. Going fast was a priority. And it was a super scary, dicey, dangerous sport in 69. And now it's safe, completely safe. There's accidents, there's bad accidents, but it's totally safe. These guys roll over and they come over the barriers and they climb out of the car. There are no fires. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. It's thrilling, but it is missing that you could die element, which really takes it to the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, in a lot of technology and science, we've kind of already hit the ceiling on a lot of things. Like, I know it's apples and oranges, but camera lenses, camera bodies will continue to change and they'll continue to move. But we kind of hit the threshold of camera lens technology. You could buy a camera lens today and sell it for the same exact amount 5 years from now. Because the technology doesn't move. Camera lenses will always be the same. But the bodies, on the other hand, those will depreciate over time. And it's kind of the same with what you're saying with like racing and space travel.
Yeah, that's the gay version of what I just said.
Sure, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I don't know shit about space travel or cars, so I got to relate
I know
to
with your brake manifold. Oh, boy. So I don't know. I'm amazed. I don't know. I'm kind of amazed. Whatever. I hate Gavin Newsom, but I think I hate his wife more. And she makes all her fucking shitty films, the he, she, confused about sexuality films, and then they all waltz into Sundance, and then I make all my films and nothing gets into Sundance. That's how it's played. But she's a ditz. And also, I'm kind of, it's interesting. Maybe I'm just seeing it through my lens, but you can definitely, Rudy, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. I see all these couples out there and like families out there. And it's like Gavin Newsom's up there and he's like, we're not going to have true freedom until the trans community is recognized and they get their own month. And she's standing next to him going, not only that, I wish it was a year. I wish we had a year's recognition of trans community. All right. That's what they do. Uh-huh. And then I'm sure everyone's on board. Myself, my mom, my dad, my grandma, any woman I've ever been with has always been like, fuck that guy. He don't speak for me. That guy, I don't, whatever he says, that ain't what I'm thinking. I'll tell you that. I don't care if it's COVID. I don't care if it's trans rights. I don't care if it's the fucking border. Whatever that guy's saying, that's him.
Yeah.
Just because we're married or just because he's my son or just because whatever.
Just because he's Sergeant Slaughter.
Do not think for fucking 5 minutes I share any of that bullshit with that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Where do they get all these fucking people that are just, first off, they're both dopes, but they're lockstep in their dopiness.
Yeah.
Is it all an act?
It's got to be, because I remember taking road trips 3 hours from St. Cloud, Minnesota back to Hibbing, Minnesota, and all I did was watch my parents argue about everything. Didn't matter what it was. That was and it wasn't like they got out of the car and went, "Hey, remember Chris? We're simpatico on this thing." No. All they did was argue. We went in the house. They argued. Everybody was completely 180 from everything, and it showed in our relationships and the way that we handle each other as you get older. And I don't know what it is. I don't agree with anything that my girlfriend says. I don't know why you would want to.
Yeah, well, you certainly wouldn't get the ringing endorsement that Jennifer. We'll watch the clip of her, but it's also, I really wonder, she's at Wisdom 2.0, the conference, talking. By the way, the sad part about these things? Crowds gather to hear what she has to say. Mm-hmm. All right, let's hear what she has to say.
My sons are really into sports, or so are my girls, but my sons will watch their favorite athletes on YouTube. Right. And then all of a sudden you'll find this sort of alt-right, extreme, Jordan Peterson type speaking to my sons. Right. It's insane. Right. Connected to the sports culture. That's not healthy. Are you kidding? So then our boys are learning hate, bigotry, misogyny, racism. Yeah. So it's very dangerous, and I think we have to take responsibility.
Jordan Peterson type, like a Canadian professor.
Who does nothing but just spew out, I don't know, correct
correct
data?
Information. Yeah. He talks about the Bible and history and stuff like that. That's what you're worried about your son finding out about David and Josiah. And that's when here's what I realized, but it drives me nuts, but it's that thing. It's all back to that Rob Reiner clip I always play for you guys on Bill Maher. It's like, well, come on. Rob, you don't know that Hunter Biden's laptop? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. You know. But Rob, you got to go out and get information. And I get information other places. You didn't know this? I watch Fox. You have no idea who Jordan Peterson is, bitch. You have no fucking idea. First off, he's intellectually, he would be a Zeppelin. He would be the Hindenburg, and you would be a little Mylar balloon that says "Get well, Nana" on it that's stuck in power wires. That's who you are intellectually. He is so much greater than you intellectually, but also you're just basically saying hate merchant, misogynist. You have no fucking idea who this guy is. And it's also weird that you do this, because I would never do that to somebody on the left.
Yeah.
I went, I don't get up, like I would go, when you think about people you disagree with, let's just say you take somebody like John Leguizamo, very hard left. Okay, I would go, I don't agree with the guy's politics. Is he a misogynist? Is he racist? I don't know. I'm sure he isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he be?
Sure.
I don't know. I disagree with his politics. I'm just disagreeing with him. I don't know. He probably treats his wife very well, and he loves his kids. And I don't think he's racist, But why doesn't anyone get to know? And I'll tell you, for me, the reason I sound this way is because I get to know these people. I know the Dennis Pregers well, or the Jordan Petersons, or the Ben Shapiros. I get to know these people, and there's nothing of the sort. There's nothing even close to this.
Yeah.
And also the fucking balls of you just going out there and just yelling this shit into a microphone. Like, you're slandering people.
Yeah.
You're calling them the worst thing you can call them, and you have no history with them, and you've never seen one of their videos.
Also, Jordan Peterson, when that guy first started making the rounds, everybody was on board with it. But then the right started sharing a few of his clips, and people on the right started having him on their podcast. And now all of a sudden he becomes this mouthpiece for hatred. How? He's never wavered. And even stuff that he doesn't line up with right values, he still goes, yeah, but these are the facts.
He's a Canadian professor who was basically told to use pronouns, and he was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then because it's Canada, Canada's basically California in 5 years. They wanted to punish him because of his thoughts. Okay. Anyway, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
She is fucking worse than he is. Shopify jumping into podcasting was risky when I did it, but it was the best decision I ever made. If you have an idea, you're ready to act on it, well, you need the right tools, and that's where Shopify is here to help. They account for 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. and will get you started with your own design studio. Now you can easily create email and social media campaigns, all with Shopify. And if you get stuck, they have award-winning 24/7 customer support as well. It is Shopify. Right, Dawson?
It's time to turn those what ifs into with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Carolla. Go to shopify.com/Carolla. That's shopify.com/Carolla.
Pluto TV has thousands of free movies and TV shows.
We're coming at you with everything we got.
This is the mindset. Free. This is the mantra. Free. This is the mindset.
With movies like Pineapple Express, the entire Star Trek film franchise, and Gladiator, and TV shows like Survivor, SpongeBob SquarePants, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Ghosts, Pluto TV is always free. Huzzah! Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
All right, what's in the news?
All right, so former Saturday Night Live star Leslie Jones was slammed
You
online.
can't say star. You cannot.
What do you think is the correct, what shall we call her? What is her pronoun here when it comes to SNL? Alum?
Even that's lofty for her because she did nothing on SNL except for butcher short bits of dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
You once called her the unfunny black dude on Saturday Night Live.
I was doing a roast. I think it was a Baldwin roast. And it was it Chris Redd?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Former SNL.
Yeah. And oh, wait, this is Leslie Jones, right? So I said, Chris Redd was on the dais with us, and I said, when I heard the unfunny black dude got fired from SNL, I thought it was Leslie Jones. I didn't know it was you, Chris.
Right.
So that was basically.
I love that one.
That is a kind of funny joke, right? Because it's always good to roast other people up there.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit of friendly fire.
Well,
I guess.
the best is when you can roast. I made fun of both of them in one joke. Yeah, she is not. I don't know if it's a DI hire or whatever. She is no. Her stand-up comedy is wash my ass, basically, and then her I don't know. You find the bit that she was good on SNL, but anyway, all right, we'll play the clip.
I think marriage has legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery
Please
and I'm
don't.
thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come
Absolutely
into my head.
not. I don't think. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Jesus.
All right, she's fucking dumb. I mean, she's dumb. She's a dumb person. Now, what is trag? And I know it's a new one.
Oh, so it's trad?
Trad.
Trads, which is traditional wife. A trad wife. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. First things first. Do we need to shorten everything?
No.
I got time for you to say all of traditional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Traditional wives, I would argue, percentage-wise, traditional wives are happier than whatever version we're trying to shit out now. We're telling them they don't need kids and they need to work and someone else can cook the meals and they should call Grubhub and all. Women are fucking going nuts. I don't know if you noticed it lately because we've taken them away from tradition. I don't get this thing. It used to happen to me in my marriage. I would sort of be open, which is, look, I'm going to work all the time and provide you with tons of money, but you got to go shopping and then you got to cook the whatever. And it was always like, I don't get why we have a full-time nanny and a cleaning crew. Why do we have a cleaning crew? Just you don't have a job. You can clean your. And if you said any of that shit out loud, it's like, oh, caveman Carolla's coming in here with his club, and it's like, fuck you. Number one, you go on the fucking road every weekend. How about that? You fucking fly Southwest. You go make a shitload of money, and then I'll stay home and kick ass. But you're not capable of doing that. Well, I am.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, the reason you're miserable is because you fucking sit around all day. Get fucking busy.
Yeah.
Do the things. And I'm fine with traditional roles. But if you'd like to flip the roles and then you can work your fucking ass off and make a ton of money, I will happily stay home and take care of business.
Any guy would be totally cool with two incomes, one household, and everything be split down the middle. Now, in some cases, you have guys and girls who can go out there and make a ton of dough and then come back. I mean, I look at Kelly Clarkson, and her husband, he basically took her to the cleaners because
good for him.
Yeah, you know?
Although I hate to say it, he's a piece of shit.
Absolutely,
but
yes.
It's nice having it swing back the other way.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm sensitive to this because the only working couple I ever experienced was my grandparents. My grandmother worked full time. My grandfather stayed at home. And he dutifully cooked and cleaned and like fixed sprinklers. And there was no such thing as takeout. And there would have been no such thing as him calling my grandma and going, on the way home, could you pick up some Thai food? I'm in the mood for Thai. It didn't fucking exist. Here's what I'm saying. If everyone wants to work, then everyone should work, and we'll have our dual income, and then we'll get a maid, and we'll bring home fast food or takeout because we're both at work all day. Fine, we can do it that way. Or you can go out and be a super successful lawyer. I'll fucking sit around the house all day, but then it'll be on me to make the food and clean the shit. We shouldn't be spending your money on cleaning services or takeout food or any of that shit. I'll handle that.
Yeah.
Or I'll go out and you can fucking do that. There is no version where you go out and you're a super successful lawyer and I hang around all day and talk shit about you to my fucking friends where I'm not considered a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
Why are you not a lazy piece of shit when you do this? And then why am I a piece of shit if I get to bring it up?
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing how many times you go to a couples therapist. And one of the biggest gripes that men will have when it comes to their wives is, I go out, I make the money, I come home, everything is still a mess, nothing is taken care of. Can we please try to figure it out? And there's always a little bit of pushback from the therapist who goes, well, maybe there's a compromise in the middle. No, there is no compromise. The compromise is I bring home all the money, get some shit done, so I come home at 5 o'clock. Everybody is able to just enjoy the rest of our evening together. That would be a perfect world, would it not?
I had a therapist once when I was begging my ex-wife to buy healthy food and protein and stop with the fucking pizzas and the pastas and all the bullshit. And I just kept saying, just, make them eggs in the morning and stop with Vinnie Tortorich be like, you got to get on the protein. They're eating too much junk and frozen food and stuff. And then at some point, and I was like, spend all the money you want, just get the good stuff. Get the good meats, get the good cheese, get the good protein or whatever. And then at some point, the therapist said, well, if Adam wants this so bad, then he should take the kids out shopping. And I'm like, or you could just fucking get the shit Vinny told you to buy with my money and come home. Why do I'm fucking working.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what it is. It's cheese. Don't get the Hot Pockets. Don't get the toaster pastry. It's super straightforward. So we are fucking nuts. This is why our society's falling apart. And here's the deal. For anybody, if one person is working and providing all of the money, they are allowed to have requests and ask for things. Listen, Daphne's in the next room. I pay her. I get to leave this studio and I get to walk over there and I get to go, Daphne, we're going to write an email to so-and-so, or I need you to pick something up. Pick up my dry clean. I'm allowed to do it. If I don't pay her, then I'm not allowed to tell her what to do.
Of course.
We have a relationship. I fucking pay her. So for this period of time, she listens and does what I ask her to do. That's our relationship. If she was paying me, then no, I couldn't tell her what to do. And if I paid her nothing, I still couldn't tell her what to do. So if you're going out and you're busting your hump and you're working, then you should expect X amount of work while we're gone. And like I said, my grandfather honored that code. He said, she's contributing, I must contribute, and I'm not going to contribute by spending her money on a cleaning crew. I'll clean myself.
Yeah.
And it was understood, and all you have to do is flip the script and have the guy be the one who stays home with the full-time nanny, and then you'll realize that guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's the math.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Ask any dad who ever pays for their kid's car. When he pays a monthly stipend every single month, he makes that payment, and when he hangs that over their kid's head saying, hey, I need you to get this done or there's no more car. How many times does the wife come back and say, you can't do that to them?
Right.
That's not fair. No, I'm the guy paying for it. Of course I can. That's why I do it.
By the way, there's no woman who would ever put up with that relationship. You fucking go out work all day and weekends and stuff, and then you just come home and go, make yourself dinner. I didn't do it, or I didn't feel like it. Are you fucking nuts?
Yeah.
They wouldn't put up with it.
There's a great scene in Mad Men with John Hamm where I think it's his secretary is giving him some heat and says something like, I do all this stuff for you. And he goes, and then I pay you money. And she says, well, you never say thank you. And his response is, that's what the money is.
Right.
It's my thank you for doing the thing I asked you to do.
So anyway,
Yes.
Leslie Jones, unfunny, dumb, and who knows. And about black people, everything's slavery. I know for you guys, but that's a weird one. And it worked. It worked for time immemorial about the wife cooks and cleans, and the wives are happier, and the kids are fucking happier.
Yes.
It's a better life, everyone. So sorry, tough shit. But now fucking go out, don't have kids, and work your ass to death. Fine.
4 suspects were busted after Baldwin Park police uncovered a staggering $500,000 plus cache of stolen catalytic converters in a massive Norwalk takedown, capping a month-long probe launched amid a surge of thefts across Los Angeles. Look at that thing, huh?
I will, if there was, here, I'm going to say this, 500,000 worth of thing. If there was one Japanese guy, Jewish guy, or white guy involved with this operation, I will apologize to every single community, because I can tell you it is literally impossible. I don't care if they busted 200,000 people.
Yeah.
There would not be one Japanese guy. There would not be one Jew. And we're not even going to find a black guy in this crew.
No.
Or a white guy.
Well, did you see the picture right there? Andrew, can you put that back up? Did you see the photo of the lady
Yes.
in the top? Yeah, so there you got the blonde lady of a certain stature.
Well, you say blonde, but I'm going to go Hispanic with the dyed blonde.
With the dyed blonde? Okay.
I'm gonna say, you go top left, I know Hispanic ladies with dyed hair. That's
the tight yoga pants and the flat shoes.
That ain't Morgan Fairchild.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go, I don't know if you can blow it up, but it's going to be one big Alvera Street, because this is their turf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm so confused with the catalytic converter stuff, because I come from a land where this doesn't happen all the time. But what do these guys do with this? They steal the catalytic converter and then they turn it in? I mean, how?
They have, well, first off, LA is one big black market now. We let it turn into a black market because we just opened the borders and this is what they do in Mexico. So it's all cartel-y stuff. And it's all the heavy metals that are in there in the catalytic converters. And I don't think they resell the catalytic converters. They sell the metals in them. So you do realize that Los Angeles, we steal copper from the wires.
I got a story about that. Yes. Yep.
You got another story about telecom wire. We're pulling, and you can look it up, Dawson, but we're pulling the metals out of there. We are stealing elements. Now, we're at the point where we're not stealing car stereos or big panel TVs. We're stealing things on periodic charts. Rare earth black market. Yeah, it's rare earth black market stage. I don't know why it says stage on there, big. But anyway, that's right. So you do realize in LA, we're stealing minerals now, and once in a while, we're at that stage. Sorry. You print it out. Once in a while, we break it up by stealing someone's pet. We're stealing dogs.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's dogs.
We're stealing cable and dogs. Like, it used to be wallets.
Yeah.
Jewels.
You're right.
Jewels.
Car stereos, hubcaps.
Yeah. We'd be jewel thieves. There'd be guys who rob banks. We're stealing shit that's on the street.
Yeah.
Materials and dogs.
Yeah. I liked a time when we just stole identities on the internet. Now we're back to physically stealing things again, and I don't know if I'm all about it.
I liked when people stole diamonds, and then every good copper movies, like every one of those, like Friday police shows, you know what I mean? They have the bad guy and he'd go Starsky and Hutch or something. They go, where are we going to move the ice? They love saying ice. They loved saying ice for diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to fence this ice. Yeah, I don't know why for like a 7-year period from like 1977 to 1984, we just said ice, and they fucking loved it.
There's always the end when the guy shows up, the dude who stole it, and then he comes to the guy's giant palatial place, this billionaire who wanted the diamonds, and he's sitting on his back patio, and he takes that black bag, and he throws it onto the table, and he goes, I'm out.
Keep
My
your
last
ice.
one. Yeah. I'm out. No more.
Yeah, what is the story you got?
So the story is that they've been stealing. This goes back to your rich man, poor man, by the way, because rich man, poor man, you know the going price of copper, which, by the way, do you know the going price of copper?
I have no idea.
$5.60 per pound right now.
Okay.
But one of the things, this came out in the New York Post, that Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass believes that solar-powered streetlights will make it harder for thieves to swoop in and steal the copper. That is her solution.
Right, but we'll play you the clip. But let me explain something to Karen Bass and all the fucking fruitcakes on the left. Criminals make money stealing shit. So, all right. You make pot legal. All right. They don't bring in pot. They bring in fentanyl. Okay. You stop fentanyl. Oh, we'll do human trafficking. They're super fucking versatile. They didn't steal copper because they're copper enthusiasts.
Yeah.
They fucking sell it. They'll be stealing your solar panels.
Yeah.
You understand? You don't get it. They'll steal whatever. Now, you can go ahead and try to figure out why they're doing this or who they are or who's shitting them out or what they're doing in our town. That'll stop. The part where you're just going to keep, hey, take all the batteries and lock them in a cage. Good. They'll start stealing deodorant. That's how they work.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Well, Christine, a lot of time these crooks go after streetlights like this one. Joab will show you they broke in here and knocked out power to this light in much of the neighborhood. But this time the crooks went after internet cables underground, and it was all caught on camera.
They're
Copper wire crooks
3 in the morning
strike again.
Working
this
on the
time
street.
around 3 a.m. in Van Nuys, one man wearing a hoodie, the other shirtless with a medical mask, surgically removing wires.
It was loud, and then I was like, hold on, people have been stealing copper because I walk these streets.
Candace Cervantes heard the action and started recording. Her video shows the shirtless suspect pulling internet cables from underground while his partner stands watch near the getaway car.
And then he even took a long black cable, tied it to his car, and they were trying to
This is in the middle of the night, in the middle of Van Nuys.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, hold on. The police station is in Van Nuys. If anyone been out, the Van Nuys, the courthouse, if you want to go down to the courthouse or you want to pull a permit, building permits, or the police station, they're all in Van Nuys, right off of Van Nuys, in the fucking middle of Van Nuys. So Van Nuys isn't that big.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Good.
This section of Van Nuys plagued by thieves targeting copper wire also above ground. Block after block, ripped lines connecting to streetlights left in the dark. The thieves didn't seem worried about getting caught?
Oh, no.
No.
This problem's so rampant right now, AT&T has crews from Northern California here trying to restore service. Is that happening a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Across LA, the numbers are staggering. Roughly 32,000 streetlight repair requests now active, mostly tied to copper theft. Mayor Karen Bass last week approved plans to replace those lights with solar ones.
Like, what's the point of stealing that?
To make money, so they go and sell it, but it gets you guys without streetlights and Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Some unaware, not worried that the thieves on
Wait, there's still a little more, I think.
their block haven't been caught.
I'm so angry.
While major portions of the neighborhood are now dark and without internet.
It's annoying. It's frustrating. They make the environment here, I mean, it's not the prettiest, but they don't make it any better, for sure.
Yeah, she said that. Oh, wait.
She estimates that the crooks were here about 50 minutes while it took police an hour to get here. So far, no arrests have been made.
Yeah, there's no arrest.
No,
we have no appetite for it. This, by the way, that's Karen Bass's constituency. The people steal all the copper wire, the ones that vote her into fucking office. So.
Yeah.
All right, LA, listen to me, LA. I told everyone this the first day, and this is 30 years ago. The first time I saw them putting barbed wire around the freeway signs, I said, that's a problem. We got to figure out where this city's going. We're going the wrong direction. Stop, gut check time. If you got to do this, you're going the wrong direction as a city. Now, we're only days away from people stealing the barbed wire that they put around the sign.
Yeah.
They're stealing fucking dogs and minerals, everybody. Reverse course. Figure out a different direction. I don't know what else to tell you. It's probably the same. It's like, you know, when Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass are like, oh, he's like, what are these people talking about? It's great out here. No, it isn't. No one's making this up. It's either catalytic converters.
Yeah, and now we're going to have one of those storage units filled with solar panels here in the next 8 months.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So you can go to, oh, that's right. Remember Nithya Raman, who's running. She's in the lead. Is she in the lead? Yeah, Nithya Raman is in the lead to be the next mayor. Socialist Nithya Raman is going to lead to be the next mayor. She's the one who was angry at Toyota for making it so easy for them to steal the catalytic converter. So I don't think she's going to be impactful. And if all her attention is spent on Toyota. Yeah. All right. This Friday and Saturday, Salt Lake City, Utah, Wise Guys Comedy Club. Rudy, are you out there?
I'm not going to be out there with you, but I will be with you in Phoenix.
In Phoenix. And then that's this week. And then Sunday night, San Diego, Solana Beach, Belly Up, great club there.
Yeah.
A couple shows there. And then Phoenix, where Rudy is, Desert Ridge Improv. 5 shows there, man.
Yeah.
So check it out. And go to the merch store, because I got a T-shirt that you guys are going to like. Just go check out over at the merch store. Rudy, what do you got?
Well, I'll be with you in San Diego and in Phoenix, and then I got a bunch of dates on my own coming up here in May, so please check out rudypavichcomedy.com.
So until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Rudy Pavich and Rob Morrow saying mahalo.